Now let's just start with some of the problems that are related with the congruence of the triangle. So the very first question says that the line segment AB is parallel to another line segment CD. O is the midpoint of AD. So if O is the midpoint of AD, then this side, that is AO, is definitely is equal to this side, that is DO. And further it says that show that the triangle AOB is nothing but congruent to DOC. And the second thing, O is nothing but the midpoint of BC. So let's just start the solution of this one. First of all, it is already given to us that O is nothing but the midpoint of AD. So if O is nothing but the midpoint of AD, so let us suppose if I'm just starting with in the triangle AOB and the triangle DOC, we are just talking about AOB and DOC. We know that actually this AD is existing as nothing but this AD or this BC is existing as a transversal. You can see that they are actually existing as a transversal over here. So what can we say about this angle or this angle? So if BC is existing as, so let us suppose if I'll write it over here, if AB is parallel to, to the line segment CD, if AB is parallel to CD, then BC is a transversal. It is a transversal. It implies that the angle ABO should be is equal to the angle DCO. This is nothing but an alternate angle. They are alternate interior angles, and we know that alternate interior angles are always equal to each other. So this is an alternate interior angle. Moreover, we know that OA is equal to OD. We know about this thing, and furthermore, we can also say that since we have AD is also as a transversal, it implies that the angle AOB is equal to the angle DOC, since AD is also a transversal and BC and AD are intersecting at O, forming the vertically opposite angles which are equal to each other. So they are actually forming a pair of vertically opposite angle. So AOB is equal to DOC. AOB is nothing but is equal to DOC. Why? So because they are forming a vertically opposite angle. These are nothing but called as the vertically opposite angle. Furthermore, we have shown that this angle and this angle is equal to each other. So what can we say after just looking at this two angle and this side? We can say that the two triangles, that is a triangle AOB is congruent to the triangle DOC by the angle side congruence rule. By AAS congruence rule, we can say that the two triangles are congruent to each other, in which we have the two angles and one pair of corresponding side is equal to the one pair and the other corresponding side of the other triangle. So by that AAS congruence rule, we can say that the two triangles are congruent. So this is all about the very first part. Now let's just talk about the second part. So by this thing that the two triangles are actually congruent to each other, we can see over here that OB or BO should be is equal to CO by CPCT. We can say this thing that if the two triangles are congruent to each other, then their corresponding sides should also be equal to each other. It means that BO should be is equal to CO. So it implies that if BO is equal to CO, it implies that O is the midpoint. O is the midpoint of BC, because if these two are equal to each other, means if BO is equal to the CO, then definitely it implies that O is nothing but the midpoint of BC. So this is nothing but all about this question. I hope all the steps related to this is all clear to you.